All right, here is the speed run for the Excel Esports case. Perfect date. First, we're going to pop quiz on some Excel functions. The day function, right, will give us the day, right, March 18th, the day, number day of the serial number, right? The end of the month here after 0 months gives me, the end of the month. And then I subtract this to get how many days are still left in the month, which is what it's asking for. Now I need to know how many of a certain day of the week or of the starting day of the week pass. Well, that's just the difference divided by 7, just the integer part of that, right? Because you have to go the full 7 days to get to the next weekday, right? So I'll just drop any decimals. This one, all right, so now we're using the data here, right? Which let's call this table T for table. Or sorry, D for data is how I like to do that. So we're going to look up the person's ID on D person ID, returning D everything, let's say, right? Or not everything, the data. Now I need to know the first day of the year, which is the 1st of January 2024, and the last day of the year, which was the 31st of December 2024, right? So I'm going to take this and find just make them, format them as serial numbers so I can see those. Now it's what? Their vacation. I mean, normally I'd have to read carefully to watch out for off by 1 errors, but I can just, it already like explains everything in the thing, right? So it's, well, this I must have done reverse since it's negative. Like it says right here, that's 366 minus 6 minus 71, right? So I add the 1 there for the off by 1 issue, and then it's what, 366 minus this minus this. All right, cool date. How many people share the same profession? How many other people share the same profession? So X look up this on D person ID. Actually, I don't even want to do, I don't even need an X lookup. Just go straight to filter, right? So filter D data, where D profession equals, well, I need to know that person's profession, don't I? Okay, that was what I was supposed to X lookup. Let me do that over here. So equals X look up this on D person ID, returning D profession. Their tour guide. So now I say if their profession equals this, I get that. So now I need the number of rows of this array minus 1 because of the person themselves. So that's how many other people. So it does not include themselves. All right. Now I need same preferred day and does not have the same profession, right? So first of all, does not have the same profession, like that. And then to do an and with the filter, right? I just multiply the 2 Boolean masks by each other. That's the same thing as an and, right? So D preferred day equals the preferred day for this person, which I did not record, but I can do, how about instead of looking up just their profession, I look up all the data, right? So now the profession has to not equal accountant, and their preferred day has to equal Tuesday. And this, I don't have to worry about the person themselves because it's already someone who does not share their profession. So it can't be themselves. It's just the number of rows of that array. All right, so now for perfect date, right, it needs to be someone who has the same preferred day and the same style. So let's do D style equals our main person style, which is streaming at home. It's a great style. Let me also say that it's not themselves. That'll make it a little easier, right? So D person ID is not equal to themselves, because you can't go on a perfect date with yourself, according to this at least. All right, so now I need to again look at like the beginning of the year and the end of the year. So bring this stuff over here. And I need to know like your vacation, right, is from whoever is what, the maximum of this and this? No, no, the minimum of this and this. Whoever comes back from vacation first, that's what matters, right? So that's the day the first person comes back from vacation. So this, the start of the year minus that, this 15 has got to stay locked also, right? Oh no, except it's the beginning of the year, so it's minus that, so minus the beginning of the year. So that's how many days they shared in common at the beginning of the year. And then for the end of the year, it's going to be like reverses, right? So like the end of the year minus the maximum, whoever goes second, right, of this, with this still locked. That's the number of days they share on the other end. And I can see 10 and 52. I can see there's a off by one error. So, you know, I'll just thank you example for handling my off by one errors. These are all the same, but that's fine because that's right? It's just that this person comes back from vacation before anybody else. This person does. So it's 10 for everybody. The sum, I do have to account for that this might be variable because I'm not keeping array all the whole time. So, right, so if this equals nothing, then nothing, otherwise the sum of that. That should take care of the case that, like, you know, there's a whole bunch of extra names here. And then this, yeah, as long as this cancels it out, that's fine. Then I just need to find the biggest, right? Whoever has the most days in common is the perfect date. Not a soulmate. I mean, it doesn't say anything about soulmate. Maybe there was a last deleted level that talked about soulmate, because there's nothing, this case says soulmate, but I don't know, it doesn't say anything about soulmate. All right. What is the latest vacation start among start or end? Latest vacation start date among the people listed. Latest is newest. So it's the 24th of December, 24. Multiply what, the smallest and the biggest. So for level 2, that's the biggest, and bring in the smallest. There they are. How many people are still on vacation on July 7th? Well, whose vacation ends the latest? July 7th. So, I mean, it's these two people, right? How many days long is the second smallest number of vacation among all people? Where I'm calculating the number of work days here. So vacation is just the opposite of that, right? So it is, it's just, you know, this plus this is the number of vacation days. So now I'm just going to do it for everybody, right? So equals D person ID, hard code one of them. I mean, they're not in order, but it doesn't matter. And set my column input cell based on that. And then what? It asks for the second smallest number. Double check that. Small 2. Second smallest number of vacation days is 36. Yeah, second smallest vacation days. Good. Who spent the most Tuesdays on vacation? Well, I mean, who spent the most of any days on vacation? That's probably gonna be a big help here, right? I mean, nobody else is close to these 209 and 203. And 209 is almost a full week more, right? So it's got to be, I mean, it's got to be this person. All right, stop. Thank you. Bye.